Hello, my happy scrappy friends. It is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So for this layout, I have decided to do a little bit of mixed media to this beautiful navy paper. I am in love with this deep, rich, amazing navy that Vicky Booten seems to just nail every single time. So I want to put some mixed media onto this page, but I want to be able to see it, of course, as well. So I am going to pop a whole bunch of messy gesso in the background. You may not want to go this crazy messy, but it was absolutely within my plans to be this ridiculous. At the moment, it's too thick. I don't want it so wide. I want to be able to see more, even not a clear gesso because that wouldn't have covered enough. But yeah, I want a lot less paint on my page. So I'm trying to scrape it up and just get it as almost as see-through as I can. I really truly want to be able to see the blue sort of shining through. In hindsight, I think maybe more like a sponge would have been a better applicator than a paintbrush. The paintbrush is just keeping it too thick. So I end up coming on in with my hands and just fully rubbing my fingers across it. I'm kind of trying to spread it out. I'm trying to pull it off the page. I'm kind of trying to make the blue come through. I'm not really sure, but I definitely want more of that navy showing through, along with making a space for my mixed media to go. So you can sort of see it rubbing and moving around as we speak here. It is really tricky. It doesn't want to rub, but I am doing my best. I've got to be quite aggressive, actually, getting in there with my knuckles at the moment, but we're getting there. Now that looks like a hot mess. I totally get it. That looks actually not very nice because of the way it's been rubbed, but it's all good. You can see I've got some space photos of my son, and I'm absolutely going to be adding some mixed media in the background here. So I've pulled out a big 12 by 12 bag, but I've tried to do packaging technique with this bag before and it is way too big. So it's hard to manage. It's hard to maneuver. So I'm actually going to cut this bag into quarters and make the bag a bit smaller. And the positive about doing that as well is A, I have more control, and B, it means I've more than got a bag each for each of the three colors. And that is good because I do not want to have to get up and clean each bag in between each application. And I also do not want to mix the applications because I'm going to end up with a funky color when I start mixing all of the beautiful distress inks that came in the kit. So I'm not using the white, but I am using the amazing other three colors, the teal, the purple, and that pinky color, and they are incredible. The sparkle, the shine, they are just amazing. The minute I splat this onto the page, I'm like, oh, wow. It is the most beautiful color. Look at that, guys. Oh my God. So that is amazing. I did not add any water, as you probably noticed. It was just too beautiful to water down. It was already runny enough to do this packaging technique with. So I'm not washing that baggie just yet. I'm popping it to the side so that I can work with the next color. I have sort of let that dry. It's summer here in Australia, so it dried pretty quick. And now I'm moving into the pink, and I'm going to add the pink in, trying not to let it spread into the places I don't want it to go. But I just love the technique of how you can kind of push into the direction you want it to be, and sort of feed it to where you want it to go, but still getting that smushy look and feel about it. It is just to die for. And then of course when the colors touch, because they're wet product, they mix together and make a whole new color. That's where that beautiful purple's coming in, and it's just divine. So now I'm up to the purple shade, and I accidentally do a teeny tiny bit too much of the purple, so I do want to come back in with that amazing teal because that light blue is incredible and I don't want to miss out on it. So, but yeah, a little bit too much purple coming up. splat again. And so you can see the mess of that gesso in the background is not so bad anymore. Because I am doing space and I'm going for this galaxy feel, those kind of stripes and rubbed marks that came in the background is totally fine for the feeling of my galaxy. Now, if you're going for something a bit more pretty and a bit more dainty, then that's where I suggest maybe using a blending tool would have been a better option, and a lot less paint. I just put way too much in. So definitely still try this technique. Don't let me have scared you off. Just use a blending brush and use a lot less gesso so you can still see that beautiful navy blue showing through, and you'll be totally fine. I went ahead and splattered with the white that came, the white linen that came in the kit as well. And I also splattered with some gold and I think some navy too, and maybe even some teal splats as well. Can't remember, but I think so. And then I have popped up my photos on foam, and then my beautiful Cutboy cut file that if you are a Kitaholic Kits subscriber, you've got an exclusive video on how to make a cut file like that using Silhouette Store. And I backed that cut file in this kind of rainbowy type pattern using all the colours that came in the cut apart sheet of our 12 by 12 sheets. So once I have glued all that down, I'm going to have a play with my ephemera. So I decided this sort of blotch that's in the top right hand corner, when I was creating doing the mixed media, I thought I might put that blotch at the bottom of the page, but the closer I looked at the piece of paper itself, it's kind of got writing on it, the 12 by 12 blue piece of paper, and it goes in a direction, and I don't know, you might not have noticed, but I felt like I needed to keep the page the orientation of the direction that the writing is going in, because otherwise I was worried it might just look a bit weird to have the writing going the other way. I don't know. Maybe I was overthinking it. But either way, the splotchy part all the way to the edge of the page is now in the top right-hand corner. And I'm totally fine with that. But it needs something else up there. I was considering putting the date stamp up there, which I think would look really cool, but I don't really do that very often. I usually put my date stamp with my journaling. But if you were a date stamping person, you could absolutely have done sort of 2 or 3 or 4 sort of repeated date stamps when the ink gets lighter and lighter on that journaling card. That would have looked really cool. Putting some of those clear sticker arrows on the page. That green one is a huge pop of colour and a whole new colour. So I will have to remember to tie some green into the rest of the layout later, otherwise it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. The light pink ones you can hardly see, but they do sort of shine and catch the light every now and then. I decided there was quite a lot going on color-wise with the Spaceboy title, but not a lot going on with my photos. So I'm just going to layer up some of the scraps, which you can see over on the right-hand side, from when I was backing the cut file. So I know that they're going to be the same colors and the same, literally the same pattern paper that was used in that cut file. And so that's just going to help hold it all together a little bit more. And I'll also use the whole rest of those and the rest of the cut apart sheet on my next layout as well. So that entire sheet of 12 by 12 will be done from this layout and my next layout coming up next week. I'm also distressing the edges of these stickers. I find with this one, using my distressing tool is working better because the stickers are so thin, they're not really strong enough to handle what's happening with my scissors, is what I'm finding. Yes, but if you're an exclusive, if you are a Kitaholic Kit subscriber, you'll know I have an exclusive video about distressing and my thoughts on distressing tools versus distressing scissors. So make sure you check that out. Just layering up a whole bunch of things. I'm trying to add a little bit of interest around the page so that beautiful background and that brightly coloured Spaceboy cut file can really sort of not stand out so much. It kind of ties the whole thing together. There wasn't a lot of there wasn't any space-related ephemera in this month's kit, but I really wanted to scrap these photos, and I really wanted to use that 12 by 12 paper, and I really wanted to use that mixed media kit. So I've decided that I'm just going to embrace the butterflies. But at the moment, I am working on this little cluster with a word phrase that came, well, like a quote that came in the sticker sheet that was just too cute to miss. All the fun stuff happens here. And yes, I'm going to just embrace the butterflies. So I'm going to put all 6 of those gorgeous butterflies that came in the ephemera pack onto this page. I'm just going to layer them all up. I know it's a little bit weird to have butterflies in space, but I think it works. And I think it looks better than trying to put other random stuff onto the page that are even less space related than a butterfly. At least a butterfly can fly. That's what I'm got, and that's what I'm sticking with. So some of them I'm popping up on foam. Others I will just stick flat to the page. Actually, I think I stick them all up on foam. Most of this page needs to be up on foam because with the cut file and with the photos up on foam, anything that touches the cut file or the photos also needs to come up. Otherwise, it will get lost on the page. But this layout is totally coming together and I am loving the way it looks. I just adore that background. Oh my gosh, those inks are incredible. I am in love. I will have 1,000 more colors of those, please, Steph. I want the whole works. They are my new favorite supply of mixed media at the moment. They are just divine. I think it's the intensity of those beautiful colors and the shine of those beautiful colors. I just love them. Ah, yes, that's what that needed up there, Jess. Good work. That label spot just at the top was looking really lonely. So I'm so glad I put that piece of ephemera up there. That was definitely needed. As I said, because I don't stamp and I don't use my date stamp up there, it was just lacking something. So I'm going to have a little look through the sticker book to see if I can find anything kind of green that suits this layout to tie in those green arrows, because I really don't want to lose those green arrows, but at the moment they're really not blending very well because there's nothing else that color on the entire page. And to me, they're really pulling your eye. They're not tying in with everything else that's happening. So I definitely need more to go onto the page. In that color, I mean, by more, not necessarily more things. There's quite a lot happening on the page as it is, but I definitely need more of that color. So I'm thinking these phrases here are going to be my way to go because I can absolutely use the same color in those. And even just this one word phrase is going to be enough to tie it together. But I'm going to try and put a third one on because we know that in general, the rule of 3 is very nice, but there was nowhere else to put it. So it's just going to end up being with the other one. But I still think that counts as 3. I'm rolling with it. Then, of course, I can't pass up these adorable hearts. I am still in love with these. These are still, I don't know if they're my favorite or my second favorite thing in the kit next to the mixed media. But if you didn't get the mixed media, these are definitely my favorite thing in the kit. I just love them. So I need to trim the excess stickers and stuff that are hanging over the edge here. And then this layout is complete. I am in love. I just love the background. I just love the homemade cut file. I cannot get enough. So again, if you are an exclusive member, make sure you've watched my how to create that Space Boy cut file so you'll be able to create your own for your next layout. Otherwise, get out those inks and have a play because, oh my God, look at that color. It is on fire. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this layout. I hope you have enjoyed it and I cannot wait to see you next week.